Hey everyone, are you ready for this? We are diving deep into the world of inclusive PE.
Ooh, yeah, get ready to make some waves.
Haha, exactly. So we had a request to explore strategies for making PE classes welcoming and supportive for every student.
Yeah, such a crucial topic.
Totally. We've got some awesome excerpts from the text, Diverse Students, to guide our deep dive.
Love that book.
Right. And let's be real, understanding diverse needs is huge, not just in PE, but in, like, everything we do.
Totally agree. It's about creating a space where everyone feels like they belong.
Exactly. So how do we actually do that? How do we make PE truly inclusive and beneficial for every student?
Well, for some students, it starts with those formal plans, the IEPs and 504 plans.
Right, those are essential.
Huge. Those plans outline specific supports and accommodations. And it's not just about having them, it's about putting them into action. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Like going beyond the paperwork and really seeing the student behind the plan.
Exactly. It's about meeting their individual needs.
Makes sense. So let's talk about something specific, something like asthma.
Oh, good one. That's a big one.
It is. Did you know, like, almost 1 in 10 students has asthma?
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
It is. And exercise can actually be a trigger for them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Breathing gets harder. It can even trigger an attack.
Exactly. So what can we do?
Well, the good news is there's these asthma action plans.
Right, I've heard of those.
They're awesome. Usually color-coded, green, yellow, red.
Oh, like a traffic light almost.
Exactly. And the student's doctor creates them. They give clear guidelines on managing their asthma during exercise.
That's so smart.
Mhm.
So green is good to go, yellow means slow down, and red means...
Red means stop,
Hmm.
and maybe grab your rescue inhaler.
Got it. And those peak flow meters, right? Those can be super helpful.
So those are game changers. They measure how well the student's breathing out, gives you like objective data.
Beyond just like looking at them and guessing.
Exactly. It's not just about how they look, it's about how their lungs are actually working.
Wow. So like if their peak flow is in the yellow zone.
Then to modify the activity, maybe a short break or something less intense.
So it's about adapting, not excluding. I like that.
Exactly. PE should be for everyone, right?
Absolutely. Now, how about students with developmental disorders? What about them?
Great question. They might need a different approach to PE.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Everyone learns differently.
Right. And that's where adaptive physical education comes in, APE.
Oh, yeah, APE. I've heard that term.
Yeah. APE is all about creating a level playing field, right? Tailoring the activities and assessments to each student's unique abilities.
I love that. Like, not everyone can climb the same rope.
Right. Some might need modified equipment or different goals altogether.
It's about meeting them where they are at their level.
Exactly. It's about celebrating their strengths and helping them grow from there.
Okay, I'm getting this. Now, another condition that comes to mind is diabetes.
Yeah, definitely an important one. Lots of kids have it.
It's so important to remember those students deserve to be treated just like anyone else.
100%. No one wants to feel singled out.
Right, and practically speaking, they need easy access to their supplies,
Yeah.
like blood glucose monitors, snacks.
Absolutely. And recognizing those hypoglycemia signs is crucial too.
What?
Hypoglycemia, it's low blood sugar.
Oh, right. What are the signs of that again?
Things like shakiness, dizziness, mood swings, even just acting a bit off.
Wow, so being able to spot those signs is huge.
Huge. And having fast-acting glucose on hand, like all the time, is non-negotiable.
Okay, got it. Always be prepared. Now, emotional and behavioral disorders, that's a tough one, right?
Yeah, it can be. PE is so high energy, it can be triggering for some students.
I can see that. Lots of stimulation.
Exactly. So instead of competition, which can make things worse sometimes, we shift the focus to cooperation.
Interesting. So less about winning, more about working together.
Exactly. It's about creating a safe space to express themselves through movement.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's like building a positive environment.
Absolutely. And there are specific strategies that can help. Things like precision requests.
Precision requests.
Yeah. Instead of just saying behave, you might say, please walk, not run, in the gym. If you continue to run, you'll need to sit out for 2 minutes.
Oh, I see. Clear and direct, no room for interpretation.
Exactly. It's about setting those clear boundaries. Then there's active listening.
Active listening. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before.
Probably. It's about truly listening and trying to understand the student's perspective, even if it's different from yours.
So it's about more than just hearing the words, right? It's about understanding the feelings behind them.
Exactly. And verbal mediation, too. That's a big one.
Verbal mediation, what's that?
That's all about helping students connect their actions to the consequences, good or bad, helps them develop self-awareness.
Ah, so like, if you do this, then this happens.
Exactly. It's about giving them the tools to make good choices.
Okay, that makes sense. Get ready for this, because we're about to dive into the world of sensory processing disorders.
Oh, this is a fascinating one. So often misunderstood.
I know, so important.
Huge in PE. It's about how the brain processes sensory info. Like, imagine a student who's super sensitive to noise. The squeak of sneakers might be like torture for them.
Wow, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, it's about seeing the world through their senses. And then there are those who crave intense sensory input. They might be literally bouncing off the walls.
Oh, wow. I've definitely taught a few of those. It's like they need to move constantly.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, PE can actually be really beneficial for these students.
Really? How so?
Activities that target proprioceptive and vestibular development. Game changers.
Whoa, okay. Break those down for me. What are those?
Okay, so proprioception is like your internal body map. It tells you where your limbs are without having to see them.
Like when you're walking without looking at your feet?
Exactly. Or a basketball player dribbling without staring at the ball. And the vestibular system is all about balance and coordination. Think gymnast doing flips.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connection to PE now.
Yeah. So by incorporating activities that challenge these systems, we're actually helping them regulate their sensory input and improve their motor skills.
That's amazing. It's like therapy disguised as fun.
Right. You can do jumping, swinging, climbing, even carrying heavy equipment can help.
What about those sensory circuits I've heard about? What are those like?
Imagine like a mini adventure course. One station for jumping on a trampoline, another for crawling through a tunnel, another for swinging.
Ooh, that sounds so fun.
And don't forget those calming spaces too. Quiet corners with like soft lighting and maybe some calming music.
So it's about striking a balance, right? Stimulation and then a chance to chill out.
Exactly. Finding that sweet spot for each student.
So cool. Okay, let's talk about English language learners. I feel like this is where so many teachers get nervous.
It can feel daunting. But instead of seeing their language differences as a barrier, what if we saw it as an opportunity?
Ooh, I like that. A chance to learn from each other.
Exactly. PE can be a bridge between cultures.
And there's so much we can do to make them feel welcome, right?
Absolutely. Like greeting them in their native language. Simple, but powerful.
Yeah, those little things matter. And what about teaching them key words like run, jump, stop?
Huge. And visual aids too, of course. Pictures, diagrams, even acting things out.
It's about finding ways to connect, even without a shared language.
Exactly. And being mindful of cultural differences in sports too. Like football means different things in different places.
True. What we call soccer is what most of the world calls football.
Right. It's all about being sensitive to those nuances.
Okay, this is making so much sense. Now, another sensitive topic. Overweight students.
Yeah, this is one where gym class can sometimes do more harm than good.
Oh, absolutely. We've got to change that.
For sure, it's about creating a shame-free environment.
Where they feel comfortable just moving their bodies, no matter what.
Exactly. We celebrate the joy of movement, not weight loss or appearance.
I love that. It's about feeling good, not looking good.
You got it. And remember, tons of accommodations can be made. Extra hydration breaks, modified exercises, low-impact activities like swimming or cycling.
Okay, so many options. And finally, what about students of different heights?
Yeah, another one that often gets overlooked.
Right, but they can feel left out too, just like anyone else.
Absolutely. Think about the challenges. A super tall kid in a game of dodgeball, or a really short kid trying to reach the basketball hoop.
Yeah, it can be tough. So what can we do?
Well, adaptable equipment is key. Smaller basketballs, lower hoops, stuff like that. And definitely avoid those height-based groupings.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. No one wants to be the odd one out.
Right. It's about making sure everyone feels comfortable and included.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground.
We have. But don't worry, there's more to come. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're ready for more deep diving because we're just getting started.
Totally. My brain is buzzing with ideas.
Yeah.
Last time we talked about some really cool communication strategies, right?
Yeah.
For students with emotional and behavioral disorders.
Yes, those strategies are gold.
I was especially intrigued by those precision requests. Can we, unpack those a bit more?
Sure. Remember, it's all about being super clear with your expectations.
Right. No more vague, be good commands.
Exactly. So imagine a student's constantly interrupting.
Ooh, yeah, I've had a few of those.
Instead of just saying, be quiet, you could say, please raise your hand if you want to speak. If you call out again, you'll need to sit out for 2 minutes.
Okay, so it's specific and it tells them what'll happen if they don't follow the rule.
Exactly. It sets a clear boundary. And that consistency helps so much.
Right. It's not just about saying it once. They need to know you mean it.
And it's not about being mean. It's about creating a safe and predictable environment for everyone.
So precision requests are great for setting expectations. What about active listening? That seems like a superpower, honestly.
It is. It's about really tuning into the student, not just hearing their words, but understanding what's behind those words.
You know, sometimes it's like they just need to feel heard.
Exactly. And when they feel heard, they're more likely to listen to you.
That makes total sense. And I think it builds trust too, right?
Oh, totally. You're showing them you respect them and their feelings.
Now, remind me again about verbal mediation. It's a little fuzzy on that one.
It's all about helping students connect their actions to the consequences, good or bad.
Feels like that aha moment when they realize, oh, my choice led to this outcome.
Bingo! You're helping them develop that self-awareness and personal responsibility.
Okay, I'm getting it. So shifting gears a bit, let's talk more about those sensory processing disorders. It's so fascinating how certain activities like swinging or jumping can actually be therapeutic for some students.
Isn't it? It all goes back to how the brain processes sensory information. Some kids have systems that are like on overdrive.
Like everything's turned up to 11.
Totally. And for others, it's like their sensory systems are kind of sluggish, you know? They need more input to get going.
I see. So the activities can help regulate those systems.
Exactly. Proprioceptive input, like pushing, pulling, jumping. That can be super grounding for kids who are overstimulated.
It's like their bodies are craving that input, right?
Yeah, it helps them feel more organized and in control.
That's amazing. So it's not just about fun. It's about actually helping their brains function better.
Right. It's like a brain workout disguised as playtime.
I'm a big fan of that. Now, I know we talked about those awesome sensory circuits before. Can you, paint a picture of what that might look like in a real PE class?
Imagine a gym with different stations set up. One station could be a trampoline for jumping. Another could be a big crash pad, for diving into a pile of pillows.
Ooh, I'd love that station.
Right. And then maybe another station with heavy medicine balls for lifting and carrying. And don't forget a quiet corner too.
Oh, yeah. A place to decompress after all that stimulation.
Exactly. Dim the lights, maybe have some calming music. Just a chill zone.
Okay, I love this. It's like a personalized sensory experience for everyone.
That's the goal, meeting those individual needs. Now let's tackle English language learners. I know this can be a big hurdle for some PE teachers.
Yeah, especially if you don't speak the student's language. It can feel overwhelming.
Totally. But honestly, even small gestures can make a world of difference.
Like what?
Learning a few basic greetings in their native languages. Imagine how cool it would be for a student to hear their teacher say hello in their own language.
Right. It instantly makes them feel seen and acknowledged.
And when it comes to instruction, visual aids are your best friend.
Pictures, diagrams, demos.
Exactly. Show, don't just tell. And consider creating a visual dictionary with keywords for different activities and actions.
I love that. So they can point to a picture if they need help communicating.
Yep. And don't forget to be mindful of those cultural differences in sports terminology.
Oh, yeah. Like how football can mean so many different things depending on where you're from.
Exactly. It's all about being sensitive and respectful. Okay, let's address another sensitive topic. Overweight students.
Yeah, this one's tough because gym class can sometimes be a source of, shame or anxiety for them.
It's heartbreaking, honestly, and it's our job to change that.
For sure. We need to make PE a positive experience for them.
Absolutely. It starts with creating a supportive environment, one where they feel safe and comfortable moving their bodies.
No judgment, just encouragement.
Exactly. We focus on individual progress, not comparisons. And we celebrate every effort they make.
I love that. It's about celebrating their journey, not their size.
And remember, tons of modifications can be made. Extra breaks, adjusted exercises, low-impact activities. It's about making it work for them.
It's about meeting them where they are, not forcing them into a mold that doesn't fit.
Exactly. And finally, let's talk about students of different heights. It seems small, but it can be a big deal for them.
Totally. I was always the shortest kid in my class.
Yeah.
I felt that.
It's all about being mindful of how you group students and what activities you choose. Avoid anything that makes them feel self-conscious about their height,
Like lining them up shortest to tallest.
Exactly. Or always picking the tallest kids for certain roles. We want everyone to feel valued and included no matter their height.
And remember, adaptable equipment is key. Lower hoops, smaller basketballs.
Absolutely. We want to level the playing field, so to speak.
Make everyone feel capable. Okay, this has been so much fun, but I feel like my brain's about to explode with information.
I know what you mean. But hold on, because we've got even more to share in the next part.
Welcome back. I'm so pumped about all these amazing strategies for making PE more inclusive. It's like we're building a roadmap to success for every student.
I love that analogy. And you're right, it's all about finding what works for each individual.
Remember in part 1, we talked about IEPs and 504 plans. Those are so important. But it's not enough to just have them, right?
Right. They need to be more than just pieces of paper. They need to inform our actions.
Totally. So how do we actually translate those plans into the PE setting?
Well, collaboration is key. You need to work with the parents, the teachers, the specialists, everyone involved in the student's life.
It's like building a team around that student, right?
Right.
Making sure everyone's on the same page.
Exactly. And then you need to think about how those needs translate to the gym.
I see, yeah. Like a student with autism who has sensory sensitivities.
Exactly. Their IEP might recommend noise-canceling headphones or a designated quiet space,
So it's about adapting the environment to meet their needs.
That's it. It's about creating a space where they can thrive.
Awesome. Okay, let's loop back to asthma for a sec. You talked about those asthma action plans and peak flow meters.
Love those tools. They can be lifesavers, literally.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Can you give me like a real-world example of how those come into play?
Sure. Say you're doing a running activity and you notice a student starting to struggle. They're coughing, wheezing, their face is red.
Red flags.
Exactly. So you check their asthma action plan and it says they're in the yellow zone.
Okay, so that means...
Time to slow down. You have them use their peak flow meter to get an objective reading, and then maybe they take a break and use their inhaler.
It's about being prepared and knowing what to do in those situations.
Exactly. You're advocating for their safety.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, let's talk about developmental disorders. You mentioned adapted physical education, or APE.
APE, such a powerful tool for creating inclusive PE experiences.
I'm starting to get that, but I'd love to see it in action. Like how might APE look different for different students?
Oh, for sure. So let's say we're doing a basketball unit.
Okay, yeah, classic PE activity.
Right. So for a student with Down syndrome who might have some motor skill delays, maybe we use a smaller, lighter ball.
Makes it easier to handle.
Exactly. And we might lower the hoop, too, so they can experience success.
Okay, yeah. And then for a student with cerebral palsy who uses a wheelchair.
Maybe we shift the focus to wheelchair basketball skills, dribbling, passing.
While their classmates are playing a modified version of the game alongside them.
Exactly. Everyone's participating. Everyone's engaged.
I love that. Okay, now let's go back to diabetes.
Such an important topic.
What are some key things for PE teachers to keep in mind when they have students with diabetes in their class?
Well, open communication is huge. You need to talk to the student, their parents, the school nurse, get everyone on the same page.
Understand their needs, their medication schedule, all of that.
Right. And be mindful of their meal times. Schedule high-intensity activities after they've had a snack.
And make sure they can check their blood sugar whenever they need to.
Absolutely. It's all about creating a supportive environment.
Okay, yeah, it's about making them feel comfortable managing their diabetes.
Exactly. No one wants to feel like they're a burden,
Right. Now let's circle back to those emotional and behavioral disorders. We talked about cooperation over competition.
Yeah, such a crucial shift.
I'd love to get some specific examples of how to put that into action. Like, what kinds of cooperative activities could we do in PE?
Ooh, so many options. Team building games, partner challenges, cooperative problem-solving tasks.
Okay, yeah, those all sound good.
Think like a group obstacle course where they have to work together to succeed.
Or that human knot game. That's a classic.
Oh, yeah. Untangling themselves as a team. It's all about building those social skills and communication skills.
It's about learning to work together instead of against each other.
Exactly. And don't forget to celebrate those successes.
Yes. High fives all around.
Yeah.
Okay, sensory processing disorders. What else can we do besides those sensory circuits?
Well, think about the overall environment. Is it too loud, too bright? Are there any strong smells that might be overwhelming?
Oh, I see. We're talking about adapting the space itself.
Right. Maybe you offer noise-canceling headphones, dim the lights, use unscented cleaning products.
It's about creating a sensory experience that's comfortable for everyone.
Exactly. And remember, some students might need more movement breaks. Let them get up and move around, even if it's just for a minute or two.
Okay, good point. Movement can be regulating, right?
Totally. Now, what about our English language learners?
Such a diverse group.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about visual aids and gestures, but there's more we can do, right?
Totally. What about a buddy system? Pairing them with classmates who can help them understand instructions.
Love that. Peer support is so powerful.
Right. And it takes the pressure off of you as the teacher, too.
Exactly. And encourage peer teaching, too. Let the students share their knowledge with each other.
It's like building a community of learners. Everyone has something to contribute.
And remember, learning a new language takes time. Be patient and celebrate those small victories.
Small victories lead to big wins. Okay, last but not least, overweight students and students of different heights.
Let's wrap it up with those two important groups.
So for overweight students, the key is to create that shame-free environment, right?
Absolutely. Focus on individual progress, offer choices, modify activities, and celebrate their efforts.
It's about health and well-being, not weight or appearance.
You got it. And for students of varying heights, just be mindful of how you group them and what activities you choose.
Right. Avoid those height-based comparisons.
And make sure the equipment is adaptable, lower hoops, lighter balls, things like that.
We want everyone to feel successful and included.
Absolutely. It's about celebrating those differences and creating a space where everyone belongs.
Wow. What an amazing journey this has been. I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too. It's been a blast exploring all these strategies with you.
To our listener, we hope you feel inspired to make your PE classes more inclusive and empowering for all students. Embrace their diversity, celebrate their strengths, and watch them shine.